Have you ever stood up from your chair, only to feel a little dizzy, a little unsure of your balance? Maybe you grabbed a nearby table without even thinking, just to steady yourself. Or maybe, you've noticed someone you love, like your spouse or your parent, starting to walk a little slower, feet barely lifting off the ground, hands reaching for walls or furniture as they move around the house. And you tell yourself, well, that's just how aging works, right? But deep down, something doesn't feel right. You start to wonder, is this really just age? Or is there something I'm missing? Here's the truth. Every single day, thousands of older adults are falling, and many of those falls don't end with just a little bruise or a harmless scare. Some lead to broken bones, hospital stays, months of painful rehab. And for too many, it becomes the beginning of a long, slow decline. Now here's the part that's hardest to swallow. Most of these falls could have been prevented. Not with expensive equipment. Not with complicated exercises. But with one simple, surprisingly powerful walking trick, something so basic, so doable, that once you hear it, you might wonder why nobody ever told you before. And no, I'm not talking about some miracle cure or fad. I'm talking about something real, something backed by real stories, and something that's already helping thousands of people just like you feel steadier, stronger, and more confident on their feet again. Because this isn't just about avoiding a fall. It's about getting your freedom back. It's about walking across a room without fear. It's about making sure your body doesn't give up on you before you're ready. So, if you're someone who's been feeling a little more cautious lately, if you've caught yourself hesitating before you step off a curb, if you've been watching a loved one get more unsteady and feeling helpless about what to do, you are absolutely in the right place. In this video, I'm going to share a powerful walking technique that has changed lives, and might just change yours too. By the end, you'll have clear, simple steps you can use right away to reduce your risk of falling, and feel stronger with every step you take. But this isn't just a video to watch, this is a conversation. So I want to hear from you. If walking steady, or helping someone else do so, matters to you, go ahead and comment "I'm here" down below. And if you care about living strong, aging with confidence, and staying informed on how to protect yourself and your loved ones, hit that subscribe button and join our growing family here at Elderly Wisdom Guide. We're walking this journey with you, every step of the way. Let's dive in. Let's start with something you've probably seen before, maybe even in your own mirror. It's that slow, dragging walk. Feet sliding more than stepping. Toes barely lifting off the ground. It's quiet, almost subtle, and easy to overlook. But this kind of walk, the shuffling walk, isn't harmless. Let me tell you about Mr. Johnson. He's 74 years old, used to be full of energy, the type who would wake up at 6 a.m. sharp to jog around his neighborhood. Every morning, rain or shine. He was proud of that routine. It made him feel alive. But these days, his morning jogs have turned into short, careful strolls. And even those come with hesitations. His feet? They don't lift the way they used to. Each step seems more like a slide. And his family? They chalked it up to aging. He's getting older, this is just part of it, they'd say. But let me gently tell you something they didn't know. That kind of shuffle isn't just a natural part of getting older. It's actually a warning sign, one that thousands of people miss until it's too late. You see, as we age, our leg muscles lose strength. Not just in the thighs or the calves, but deep stabilizing muscles that control how we lift our feet and place them back down. Our coordination starts to decline too, sometimes without us even noticing. The result? Feet that barely leave the ground. A stride that becomes shorter, and riskier. Every uneven surface, every small rug, every slight bump in the floor, becomes a potential hazard. And here's the scary part, that shuffle? It's one of the biggest red flags for a fall waiting to happen. But because it's so subtle, and because it seems so normal, most people don't think twice about it. That's just how Grandpa walks now. She's being careful, that's a good thing, right? But being cautious isn't the same as being stable. And when your feet aren't lifting properly, your chances of tripping skyrocket. So, what can you do? Here's something simple, something you can try today. The next time you get up to walk, bring a little awareness to your knees. Don't worry about marching like a soldier, just think about lifting your knees gently with each step. Even just an inch or two. Enough to clear the ground. Enough to activate those muscles that may have been sleeping for a while. This isn't about perfection, it's about intention. And trust me, just that small shift, lifting instead of dragging, can drastically reduce your risk of stumbling. If it feels awkward at first, that's okay. Your body is remembering how to move again. Give it a little time. And remember, every step you take with more control, is a step away from injury, and a step closer to confidence. But here's something else most people don't realize, walking safely isn't just about your legs. Where your feet land is important, but where your eyes are looking might be even more critical. Let's talk about that. Let me tell you about Eleanor. She's 78, sharp mind, warm smile, and always careful. The kind of person who double-checks the stove, holds the railing going up the stairs, and walks very slowly through the house, always looking straight down at her feet. She thought it made her safer. She believed that if she could see every crack, every rug, every little bump on the floor, she'd be okay. But one afternoon, as she stepped off her front porch, she missed the last step. Because while her eyes were fixed on the ground below her, she never saw what was coming ahead. And that one small misstep? It landed her in the hospital with a fractured wrist and weeks of painful recovery. Eleanor's story is more common than you think. See, there's a natural instinct that kicks in when you start to feel unsure on your feet. You want to keep your eyes on the ground, make sure you don't trip over anything. It feels logical, right? If I'm watching my feet, I'm being careful. But here's the catch, looking down while walking actually increases your risk of falling. Here's why. When you tilt your head down for long periods, especially while walking, it throws off your posture. Your chin drops, your shoulders round forward, your upper back curves. And worst of all, your center of gravity shifts forward. Now, instead of being balanced over your hips and feet, your weight is leaning ahead of you. Which means if you catch your toe, or your balance is just slightly off, you're already halfway toward a fall before you even realize it. And there's another danger most people don't think about. When your gaze is locked on your feet, your awareness of everything else disappears. You don't see the hallway ending. You don't notice that raised doorframe. You miss the shadow of someone walking toward you. So how do you stay safe without staring at the ground? There's a simple habit I like to call the gaze ahead trick. Here's how it works. Instead of looking straight down, focus your eyes on a spot about 6 to 10 feet in front of you. Pick a lamp, a picture frame, a doorway, anything at eye level that gives you direction. This small shift naturally encourages your head to lift, your spine to straighten, your shoulders to come back, and your body to return to proper alignment. Your balance improves because your body is stacked the way it was designed to be. And best of all, you're now seeing both the ground ahead and your surroundings. Try it the next time you walk across a room or down a hallway. Don't rush, just set your eyes forward and let your posture follow. You'll be surprised how much more stable you feel, just by changing where you look. Because better balance isn't just about strength, it's also about awareness. And while posture and focus are powerful tools, there's something even more important. It happens before you take your first step. Let's talk about it. Now picture this. James, 81 years old, always had this habit. The moment he stood up from his favorite recliner, he'd take off, straight down the hall to the kitchen, or to the front door, or wherever he was going. No pause. No hesitation. just up and go. But here's the thing, almost every time he stood, he'd get that woozy feeling. You know the one, like the room tilts just slightly, like your feet aren't quite sure where the floor is. A couple of times, he even stumbled into a table, caught himself on the wall. His daughter watched this happen again and again, and finally said, "Dad, just pause. Just give it a second before you move." And James did. He tried it. He started waiting, just a few seconds, after standing up. And something amazing happened. The dizziness? It stopped. The stumbles? Fewer and fewer. That one tiny change? It made all the difference. Now, why does this work? It has everything to do with something called orthostatic hypotension, a fancy term for a simple idea: when you stand up, your blood pressure drops. It's common in older adults, and when it happens too quickly, your brain doesn't get the blood it needs fast enough. That's what causes that lightheaded, unsteady feeling. And when you immediately try to walk in that moment, when your balance is off, and your body hasn't caught up yet, that's when slips, missteps, and falls happen. But here's the trap a lot of us fall into. We think momentum is our friend. We tell ourselves, if I just keep moving, I won't fall. Don't stop, just go. But rushing is exactly what puts you at risk. Instead, what your body really needs is a moment to adjust. A moment to say, okay, I'm upright now. Let me stabilize before I move. So, here's the simple technique I want you to try. It's called the pause before you walk. The next time you stand up, whether it's from a chair, a bed, even the toilet, don't move right away. Instead, 1. Stand tall. 2. Take a deep, steady breath. 3. Count slowly to 3, out loud if you need to. 4. Then, and only then, begin walking. Those 3 seconds? They give your blood pressure time to level out. They give your brain the signal, yes, I'm okay. Let's move. And most importantly, they give you control. You're not reacting, you're responding. And that little bit of control can mean the difference between a normal day and an emergency room visit. So now you're upright. You've paused. You've given your body what it needs. You're ready to walk. But how you walk next, your pace, your pattern, the rhythm of your steps, that can completely reshape your stability. Let's dig into that, because walking with purpose is more than just movement. It's a skill. And you can learn it. Let's talk about Lillian. She's 76, lives alone, and used to dread walking across her kitchen. Not because of pain, or dizziness, or even weakness. But because she never felt stable. Her feet would slap the ground flat, side by side. No rhythm. No roll. She moved cautiously, softly. Trying not to make a sound, like walking too firmly might shake her balance. But then during a physical therapy session, her therapist asked her something simple: "Lillian, are you stepping heel to toe?" She blinked. Heel to what? That day, she learned a trick that changed how she walked, and how she felt walking. See, many older adults tend to walk flat-footed. It seems safer, quieter, more controlled. You think, I don't want to stomp or jar my joints. I just want to glide. But that soft, flat-footed walk actually skips one of the most natural movements your body needs, the heel-to-toe step. Now here's what's going on inside the body. When you walk heel-to-toe, you're activating the entire gait cycle. That means your heel touches the ground first, your foot rolls forward smoothly, and you push off with your toes. Why does that matter? Because this rolling motion creates forward momentum in a controlled way. It stabilizes your ankle, strengthens the muscles around your joints, and helps your balance naturally correct itself with every step. When you walk flat-footed, that whole system goes quiet. Your muscles don't engage the way they should. Your stride shortens. Your body tenses up. Because it doesn't feel secure. And the irony? Trying to walk softly can actually increase your fall risk. Because you're not giving your body the signals it needs to adjust and balance. But here's the good news, the heel-to-toe trick is simple. And once you get the feel for it, it becomes second nature. Try it right now if you're safe and seated. 1. Place your foot out in front of you, gently. 2. Let the heel touch the ground first. 3. Slowly roll the foot forward, through the arch. 4. Then push off with your toes like you're gently propelling yourself ahead. Now try it while walking slowly. One step at a time. Heel, roll, toe. Heel, roll, toe. With each step, you're building strength, balance, and awareness. You're giving your brain and your body a rhythm to follow. And most importantly, you're giving yourself confidence. That's what Lillian found. A few weeks after practicing the heel-to-toe technique, she told her daughter, "I actually feel like I'm walking again. Not just trying not to fall." And that shift? That's the goal. Because walking shouldn't feel like tiptoeing through danger. It should feel like moving forward, with calm, steady strength. Now, here's something to remember. Even if you master this technique, if your posture is solid, your pause is perfect, and your steps are smooth, there's still one thing that holds it all together. It's not in your feet. It's not in your knees or your back. It's something you might not even notice. But it's the secret to walking safely every single day. Let's talk about that. Now I want you to meet George. He's 79, widowed, and used to love going for evening strolls around his neighborhood. But somewhere along the line, that changed. He began hesitating at the door. He'd stand there, gripping the handle, heart racing, not from effort, but from fear. Not fear of walking. Fear of falling. He'd say things like, "What if I freeze? What if my legs just stop like they sometimes do?" And that fear? It made everything worse. He'd step out, then stop. Take a few steps, hesitate. It became a cycle of doubt. Until one day, his physical therapist introduced him to something unexpected. A simple beat. She opened an app on her phone, a metronome, and played a steady rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. And said, "George, walk to this. Don't think. Just follow the beat." And he did. At first, it felt odd. But step by step, his body began to sink. One foot, then the other. No freezing. No stuttering. Just rhythm. And for the first time in weeks, he felt free. Here's why it worked. Our brains are hardwired to respond to rhythm. From birth, we react to patterns, heartbeat, music, footsteps. It's built into us. And when walking becomes uncertain, whether from age, Parkinson's, anxiety, or injury, adding rhythm gives your brain a cue to follow. This technique is called cadence training, or the walking rhythm reset. Instead of thinking about every move, you let the beat lead. Your body entrains. Meaning it naturally falls into step with the rhythm. It reduces the chance of hesitation, especially for those who struggle with freezing episodes. And it makes walking feel smoother. More automatic. More natural again. Now, I know what some people are probably thinking, a metronome? Isn't that something for musicians? Or even, that sounds kind of silly. But here's the truth, this isn't some gimmick. It's backed by neuroscience, used in clinics and hospitals all over the world. And you don't need fancy tools to get started. Just grab your phone and search for a free metronome app. Or even easier, put on a piece of soft music with a steady beat. Look for songs in the range of 60 to 90 beats per minute, that's a gentle, walking pace. Then practice. Walk to the rhythm. Let the beat carry you. You're not forcing the movement, you're flowing with it. And each time you do it, you build muscle memory. You retrain your nervous system. And most importantly, you rebuild confidence. George now walks every evening again, same route, same smile, no hesitation. He still uses his metronome sometimes, but most days, he doesn't even need it. His body remembers the rhythm. It's part of him now. So, here's the big picture. These 5 tricks? Individually, they might seem small. A pause here. A step adjustment there. A rhythm. A gaze. A lift of the knee. But together, they transform the way you move. They replace fear with focus. Stumbles with strength. And walking, something so simple, so human, becomes a joy again. Not a risk. Not a chore. But a moment of freedom. And that's everything. Let's pause here for a moment. Because I want to speak directly to you, not just about walking, but about what it means to feel steady again. Watching yourself, or someone you love, start to lose stability. It's not just about balance. It's about freedom. About the quiet frustration that builds when simple things like going to the mailbox, or walking to the kitchen, start to feel like a risk. It's scary. It's heartbreaking. And if you've ever stood behind someone, arms half outstretched, just in case they stumble. Or if you've been that someone, holding onto walls, furniture, door frames, then you know that fear isn't just in the legs. It settles in the mind. It whispers, maybe I shouldn't try. What if I fall? And slowly, without realizing it, people start doing less. Going out less. Smiling less. But here's the truth I want you to hold on to, this isn't the end of mobility. Because knowledge is power. And the moment you understand what's happening, why the shuffling starts, why you feel dizzy, why your steps feel unsure, you're no longer at the mercy of it. You can do something about it. You don't need fancy equipment or complicated routines. You just need awareness, and small, consistent action. So, here's what I invite you to do today, pick one thing. Just one. Maybe it's the pause before you walk technique, just taking that breath and waiting 3 seconds before stepping forward. Maybe it's lifting your knees slightly. Maybe it's focusing on a spot ahead instead of the floor. Or maybe, it's pulling up a soft piece of music and letting your feet follow the rhythm. Try it. On your next walk, even if it's just across the living room, try it. Feel the difference. Because walking isn't just about muscles and bones. It's about confidence. About knowing your body again. About moving without fear. And I want you to know this, falling is not a normal part of aging. Yes, it's common. But common doesn't mean unavoidable. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are capable, so much more than you might believe right now. With love, with patience, with just a little guidance. We don't have to just get older. We can age stronger. Smarter. More aware. More in control. That's what this is all about, not perfection, but progress. And the more you understand your body, the more power you have to protect it. To move with intention. To keep doing the things you love, on your own 2 feet. Because you deserve that. Every step of the way. Let's take a moment and gently walk back through what we've learned today. We started with something that seems so small, just how you walk. But as we've uncovered, each step is more powerful than it looks. To recap, today we explored 5 simple yet powerful techniques that are helping thousands of older adults walk with greater confidence and ease. 1. Lifting your knees to avoid the shuffle, turning every step into a gentle march, not a drag. 2. Keeping your gaze ahead. Not at the ground, so your posture stays aligned, and your brain stays alert. 3. Pausing before walking, just a breath, just a few seconds to let your body catch up, and steady itself. 4. Walking heel to toe, activating your natural gait and giving your body the balance it remembers. 5. Using rhythm, a beat, a song, a pattern, to reset your stride and take control of your steps again. Each one of these might seem small on its own. But together, they create a shift. A feeling of possibility. A way to walk with purpose again. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you, or someone you care for, ever tried any of these walking tips? Which one surprised you the most? Which one are you excited to try first? Go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. Your experience might help someone else feel less alone on this journey. And if you found today's video helpful, even in just one small way, please tap that like button. It helps more people find this message. And it lets me know this content is making a difference. And don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Wisdom Guide. This channel is here for you, to provide warm, practical, and empowering guidance for living your later years with dignity, grace, and strength. New videos every day, always filled with real stories, real strategies, and real support. And now, as we close, thank you for spending this time with me. You showed up for your health today. You listened, you learned, and I hope you feel a little stronger already. Stay safe. Stay steady. And keep walking strong. I'll see you in the next video.